Hi there, my name is Tim Yancey, and today I will be providing you with instruction detailing the process of crafting a first-person narrative account of the experiences of an individual imprisoned in a concentration camp circa 1939 through 1945. Now, while the topic of the Holocaust is one which must be handled with great sensitivity and respect for the millions of lives so senselessly taken during the course of World War II, I urge you to write with the same sense of immediacy, outrage, and perhaps hopelessness experienced by those so wrongfully imprisoned. Now, in crafting your first-person narrative accounts, I encourage you to take inspiration from your independently selected Holocaust-based literary works, which you will have completed reading prior to this assignment, as well as a series of valuable online resources such as holocaustlearning.org and remember.org, among others, in crafting brief, 2 to 3 page first-person narrative accounts of life in the concentration camps. I would now like to read a sample passage from Elie Wiesel's autobiographical Holocaust-based account, Night. Everybody get out. Everyone out of the wagon, quickly. We jumped out. I threw a last glance toward Madame Schechter. Her little boy was holding her hand. In front of us flames. In the air that smell of burning flesh. It must have been about midnight. We had arrived at Birkenau, reception center for Auschwitz. The cherished objects we had brought with us thus far were left behind in the train, and with them, at last, our illusions. Every 2 yards or so an SS man held his Tommy gun trained on us. Hand in hand, we followed the crowd. An SS non-commissioned officer came down to meet us, a truncheon in his hand. He gave the order. Men to the left, women to the right. 8 words spoken quietly, indifferently, without emotion. 8 short, simple words. Yet that was the moment when I parted from my mother. I had not had time to think, but already I felt the pressure of my father's hand. We were alone. For a part of a second I glimpsed my mother and my sisters moving away to the right. Zipporah held mother's hand. I saw them disappear into the distance. My mother was stroking my sister's fair hair, as though to protect her, while I walked on with my father and the other men. And I did not know that in that place at that moment, I was parting from my mother and Zipporah forever. Now, in crafting an effective first-person narrative, I urge you to consider the importance of a strong narrative voice, as well as the use of vivid visual imagery, as a means of conveying a sense of time and place. Now, as previously mentioned, you will select content-based materials in researching different aspects of the daily lives of concentration camp prisoners throughout the course of World War II, including what they ate, where they slept, and what they wore. Additionally, you will take inspiration from such independently selected Holocaust-based literature as Thomas Keneally's Schindler's List and the previously mentioned Night by Elie Wiesel, among others. You may utilize the various resource links and videos provided in my Edmodo Classroom website as a means of inspiration for crafting your first-person narrative accounts, though your writing, of course, must ultimately be your own. Now, this particular activity will hit upon such Common Core state standards that ask you to write narratives to develop real or imagined experiences or events using effective technique, well-chosen details, and well-structured event sequences. Engage and orient the reader by setting out a problem, situation, or observation, establishing one or more multiple points of view, and introducing a narrator and/or characters, as well as creating a smooth progression of experiences or events. Using narrative techniques such as dialogue, pacing, description, reflection, and multiple plot lines to develop experiences, events, and/or characters. And these guidelines pertain to grades 9 through 10, English Language Arts. Well, thanks so much for watching. I will divide the class into groups of 2 on Monday. I encourage you and your partner to play to one another's strengths as writers and always be willing to take chances with your writing. Now, upon completion of this activity, each group will share their first-person narrative account with the rest of the class, after which we will discuss our writing in further detail.